All right, welcome back to the R.D.C show.
Segment 2.
Segment 2, yeah.
Of the
Derek.
4th of July.
Of the 4th of July. Happy 4th, everybody.
Yep. Everybody have a safe holiday. Blow up some stuff, but not yourself.
Exactly.
Or anybody that you care about.
Don't
burn nobody's house down by shooting bottle rockets up on the roof and watching it burn and not tell them.
Yep. Be safe in the water.
Yep.
Derek.
Chris.
Richard.
I think this time Rich has got a little topic for us.
All right, fellas. Well, I think over the year or so doing the show, you guys know how I feel about guns. But I want to talk about. I watched that show Vice on HBO. If you don't watch it, I highly suggest you do. It's a really good show. They recently did a thing on the gangs in Chicago, and at the point in time when I had heard them talk about gangs in Chicago, I did not know there was 150,000 kids in those gangs. It is insane, people. How can the police force be expected to stop that? And number two, how are those kids getting the guns? And number three, how is there so much money in this underground, whatever the fuck they're doing, crime thing, be buying all these guns? I don't know. It just seems like a really hard place to go into. I know I wouldn't want to go to Chicago right now.
And it's crazy because you know how they talk about Cabrini Greens all the time, that bad area, and they thought they just could tear it down and it was all over with. Them kids all went somewhere else and it just kept going.
Yep, that's what the guy tells us.
They're all in the neighborhoods now.
Yeah, doing that kind of stuff.
They went right in the neighborhoods.
Just push them.
They thought tearing the projects down would end the gangs, but all it did was gave the gangs more recruits.
Yeah, it gave more.
Spread them out bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to get 100
here, right here in our own town?
How are you going to be able to get 150,000 people to stop shooting each other? How? How's that going to work?
Especially they're doing it over land and drugs, and it's the system is just bad. The system is just bad, and it all fires. It all just feeds itself.
I hate to say it, but realistically,
it's too bad.
After watching that thing on Vice, the only way I see that ending is you're going to have to put military force in there. Martial law, military force. The only way you're going to break those gangs up. And I don't even know if that worked. Then it's going to turn into a civil war. Then you start really making America go, wait a minute, why are we invading our own city?
They call it Chirac.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that one of the first places you got to start is figure out the source of the guns. Figure out where it is
Well, you know what it really is it comes down, needs to be the education that them kids are not getting.
Well, right, yes, the root cause is definitely the social one.
The root cause,
it definitely has more to do with the living conditions in which these people are growing up in, and and the reality of what they see around them. This is what life is.
Right.
They don't know beyond their neighborhood. They don't know what anything.
Right.
I understand their way of life because when you have nothing, and it looks like you're not going to ever have anything, and you're living in the worst conditions, and yet you're supposed to be in the greatest country, and you have no hope.
Right.
And your only hope is your buddy down the street, but in order to be his friend and all his other friends' friends, you got to kill people, rob, steal. You got to protect what's yours, and you got to take what's not.
Yeah. Hey,
I understand the way of life.
Yeah, exactly.
And we do have to change that for most kids in America.
Yeah.
America is the greatest country in the world. No kid should feel like they don't have a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should all have equal opportunity, regardless of where they're from.
But the reality is, if you don't know somebody or you're not from a rich family already, you don't have a whole hell of a lot of shots.
No, one thing's for sure that what you have to do in the immediate sense is different than what the social. You can't cure the social issue overnight.
No.
But there has to be some way to stem it. I mean, the criminal system operates just like anything else, and they're dependent on certain things and
on money.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
If you watch that Vice
I would be interested to know why is there so many guns available to the people in Chicago. Why is it so abundant? And there's not a scarcity of weapons. Clearly, they're available all over the place. Right. Why is that?
Well, right. Look at the president. He's supposed to be all about gun control and that. But the city he comes from is got bullet holes in it like Swiss cheese, man.
Hey, when the people started
It's like one of
waking
the
up
worst
during
places.
the Vietnam War and stuff, and the movements began, it wasn't a bunch of hippies. It wasn't that. It was students speaking out. And what happened? They figured out a way to break them was to suddenly make a whole bunch of hard drugs
Well, here's the scary
readily
thing.
available and easy to get.
What if
That was-
all those
that was a
gangs? What
messed
if all
up
those?
time.
And it subdued people.
Just imagine this. What if all those gangs decide to quit being stupid and killing each other and united? That's a pretty big ass force to deal with.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
That's a
It's
standing
big-
army within
it's
our
a standing
borders.
army within our borders, and that is guns, and they all got weapons, multiple weapons.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. People need to stop looking at the you know,
It may not be
depiction
in
of
your
what a
back door
gang
right now,
is.
but it will be soon.
yeah. And
But
think
if
of
you
it
watch
more
that
of
Voice
a
episode-
network.
You watch that Voice episode; those kids have no remorse. They talk about it proud, feeling a body.
That's what they
Right.
see.
Right.
That's what
It's
they've
like,
known
man,
their
you
whole
have
life.
no
Right.
concept. That's a whole generation of people. This one dude was talking about his mom got killed running out the house to save him. And
Right.
he's like, but she was trying to save her baby, so I'm all good with it. And I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, and that one dude had like on his back tattoos of everybody had died.
That was
And
close
one
to him.
picture of his
Dude.
son on the bottom.
Yeah, because his little baby got shot up in the house he was living in just because he was there. And they
Dude,
act like it's nothing.
he had like 50 names on his back, dude. And he was only like 30. I'm like, damn, dude, that
Like,
is
I'm
not
old
right,
for the game.
man.
I'm old for the game. It's amazing I
Oh, shit.
lived. I was just like, damn.
That's some real shit when you see shit like that. This is like, wow.
And
See,
this,
we-
and this shit
and we
happens
got-
in America, dude.
Yeah,
we're
and
worried
we got-
we're worried about other
Other
countries.
countries, and why we ain't
What
worried
happens
about our
there?
own people.
We got this shit going on in our own country, and
We've
sooner
got
or later,
we got the whole world in our country because we let everybody in.
More
Why?
Americans die within the borders of the U.S. than
Look,
die outside it.
Right.
Did you ever watch that
That's
thing?
including wars.
It was something on the History Channel. It was called Gangs or About Gangs. I remember watching one
Locked Up.
episode
So
with this gang, and this guy said, "You know where gang members are going? Where they're turning to? They're turning to the army." He said most of the people that join the army are gang members, and they're going over there. And he was talking this crazy shit. Like in the end, gang members are always gang members, and them troops will always be with us. And I was just like, that's a scary thought. Now that's a way off crazy thing.
No, they've already had people bank robbing and shit, and they showed that these guys were trained by the U.S. They were doing everything that a soldier would do. Train, and they were soldiers.
That's crazy.
Ex-soldiers.
That's a scary thought, man. Them gang members don't fuck around. He said people are joining the military deliberately so they can come back to military training and get more recruits. Because once you're a soldier, that dude's your boy. That dude's your boy's forever. And you bring him back and show him what you're really down with, and then he joins up.
damn,
Recruiting soldiers.
you're taking that shit deep.
Soldiers.
That's what the
Real
bikers
shit.
did in the 70s.
Mhm.
Biker gangs were known for that. They were mostly veterans.
Yeah, but
A
these.
lot of them are.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's only Chicago we're talking about. You still
Right.
got L.A. We used to have the biggest
Yeah.
gang riots.
Well, you hear
violence.
about what the MS-13. They say they keep growing. So,
Yeah.
and that's that one Mexican gang that's just out of control.
And a lot of them nowadays stay underground. I just think that at some point in time we're headed for a point in this country we don't straighten shit out. Or we're going to be under martial law. You're going to have drones flying overhead, but you're going to feel safe because you're going to need it.
Shit, I ain't
And
feel
the,
safe enough.
the real scary thought is that's where they want you, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why guns are allowed to come to gangs, just like drugs were allowed to come to drug users in the 80s, because they want you to need the government and to want that protection.
What
The
I'm
government
gonna
wants this stuff.
say, dude, might sound a little crazy, but if I'm connecting all the dots here, for a long time we have been paying tribal leaders in Afghanistan and Iraq to fight us.
Oh yeah.
We have given them ammo. We have given them medical supplies, food. Deliberately, this is not a mistake. This is not an airdrop that the Taliban seized or Al Qaeda seized. This is shit that was dropped off directly to them. There was people, officers in the military say, my job is to hike through these mountains and deliver money to this tribal leader. We've been paying them to fight us. This war on terror, all this stuff. If you ask me, the reason that Chicago is the way it is because it is intended to be that way.
Oh yeah. That's what I said.
by
They
people
like
of power.
Mm-hmm.
They're in there to break the
it. Yeah,
back
because
of
the
Chicago.
more scared that we are
Yeah.
of everything else, the more likely we're not to pay attention to what
Can't
they're
walk
really
out in
doing.
your neighborhoods without being scared to
I
get
can
shot.
tell you, because I don't pay enough to Chicago-style politics, I can tell you that our mayor right now was said to be from Chicago, and that he had Chicago-style politics. One politician that was running against him in an election brought that up. I don't know how true that is. I never checked it out myself, but according to what I know about Chicago, is it is one very, very corrupt place. You know, the government's wildly out of control. And,
Everything.
and I'd say that's probably why the populace is dealing with what they're dealing with, because there's no more checks and balances anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Problem with Chicago is Al Capone still runs it. Always has, always will.
Yeah, he probably
Not
still
him
does
himself,
to a point.
but that character of person
Yeah.
has always been there and always taken that city over.
Yeah, that's a sad thing, man.
But they
He is a
they don't
beast.
want that. They don't want murder in the streets and mayhem
No.
like that. They don't. That's not what their goal is. If you're talking about organized crime,
Oh,
they
no.
want things to run smoothly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Al Capone wasn't about, he was murdering the streets.
I'll tell you right now,
Ruthless.
as far as all those gangsters and shit, I kind of see them in a different light. I almost wonder if they ain't the good guys, and the politicians
Right.
are the dirty.
Well, you
rotten
watch that
scoundrels.
Vice episode, the one gang member says, look, they talk about us. We don't even come close to what them gangsters doing. They was blowing up clubs with hundreds of people in it. The only people we're killing that we try to kill are the people that are not in our gang. And I was like, okay. Crazy way to look at it, but whatever. He's got a point, though.
I mean, is he going to kill like you or me because we are in either gang?
Probably not. I mean, he allowed the movie crew to go with him. They
True.
didn't hurt him.
True.
And they showed him a lot of stuff and showed him their guns.
I mean, I'm sure you just don't want to be waltzing around them neighborhoods or
No.
nothing like that, but
Because they'll take your fucking
take my
dad
shit.
and shit.
Right? Oh, what you got?
You fuck with them, you might die, but
Right,
I don't think they would just shoot us for no reason.
right.
But think about that. There's
Well, you don't know
150,000
terms and
kids
shit.
in the gang, yet they lose probably 1,000 kids a day throughout the whole city.
1,000 a day.
And
Well,
they
not
keep,
1,000,
oh,
not
that's
that.
probably, well,
Not that much, but
I don't know, man.
It's
It's
quite
a
a
big
bit.
city. It's a lot. Bet you they're losing at least 100.
I
to
think they
300
had
a
like
day.
maybe like 1,000 homicides last year.
Oh, no, they have more than that. In a day?
No, in a year.
Oh, no.
I don't think
I
there
don't
are that
know.
many killings, man.
No.
I don't know.
That'd be
Look it
like
up.
360,000.
How many killings Chicago had
Killings.
last year?
Yeah, that'd be like almost 400,000 in a year.
Look it up on your thing. How many killings they had last year?
Okay.
I think it was like 5,000 or some shit. So yeah, it's probably 100 a week. No, that's still too much. Be like 10 a week.
Well, 520 would be 100 a week. 100 in a year. You know, if you had 500 in a year, you definitely see that. Oh, nationwide, when Bowling for Columbine came out, he pointed out the differences in all the other modern societies and how many gun deaths, and we trumped everybody by what? Like, we were like 1,000 times higher. Chicago homicides down this year, sharply down this year.
Now let this come up, man. No,
Keeps coming.
Well, they're not really
Not really listening.
much to one.
Nevertheless, it's
It was
a lot,
a lot.
of people. Yeah. Definitely.
I thought he was saying when we watched that thing that 150 people a day go to the hospital emergency rooms. Because remember he talks about the one quit taking gunshot wounds. Remember that? And that one girl's brother died because the hospital wouldn't take his gunshot wound. They had to send him uptown because they said there was so many people coming in on a daily basis shot by guns. The hospital can do nothing else, so they started refusing to take gunshot wounds. Remember that?
Yeah.
And so they started shipping them all up north, uptown. And
People
this
dying
one girl was
on the way
talking about
there.
her brother. He died on the way to the hospital.
Well, there was a hospital
He was at the hospital.
3 minutes away.
They put him on a cart and shipped him somewhere else, so we ain't taking him. And the paramedics in the truck were like, "Hey, this is life or death." And They're like, we're not dealing with gunshots. Get them out of here. And it's like, damn, how could that be allowed to be done?
There was 535 homicides in 2012.
Damn, I guess there wasn't that many.
No, it's 100 a week.
Just just almost one a day, or just over one a day.
100 a week. So
No.
7 divided by 100, yeah.
No, like 10 a week.
520 would be
535.
Yeah, my mistake.
Not
Yeah,
5,000.
Yeah, 5,000.
Woo!
Damn, bad man.
That's still a lot.
About 10 a week. Over 10 a week.
That's ridiculous.
That is pretty
One
crazy.
a day?
Well, it'll be over one a day.
But unfortunately, I don't think that the human race, until we're being invaded by an alien, planet's going to blow up, something is going to kill us, will we all come together and realize that
No, we're all gonna come together.
we have to work together to get through it.
Yeah.
Until that happens, you're always going to see stuff like
disaster.
this. They're going to need an alien race coming down going, you know what? All of you, no matter what color, what religious group you come from, what gang you're in,
group,
what political group,
anything.
you're all food.
Food.
And at that point in time, the human race will go, damn, I guess we should have been friends and preparing for this shit for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
At that point in time, I think humanity might have a shot of peace.
Maybe we're like insects. I mean, you got what they call predator satiation, where they just eat their fill and there's still some left.
But unfortunately, I think
repopulate.
even if that happened, you would still have mankind selling out mankind.
Well,
Because
yeah,
we're
it
just
is
greedy,
in nature.
horrible things. So we'll kill each other, rape each other, molest children, all this other sick shit humans do to people.
Yep. Because it all happened back in the day, just people just didn't know much about it.
Right. But people will think we have to change.
Aliens need to come down to Earth and say, and be like, you can come with us if you bring us all your wealth, and you'll live for eternity. And, so only the very wealthy would get on board, and they'd take them all and they'd eat them.
Drop their wealth amongst
Like
us.
Aerosmith said, eat the rich. It's the
Or
only
we're
thing
just
they're
in-
good for.
Or we're just in the Matrix.
Yeah.
So
The Matrix, yeah, definitely. We're zombified, that's for sure.
We need the zombie apocalypse, people. We're ready for it.
we're ready for
Peace.
I was gonna have